Hello and welcome to the Melon Buffet podcast. I'm Tara.
Hello, I'm Charlie. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right.
This is pretty early in the series for us to be this late. Here we are.
Yeah, well, it couldn't be helped this week. So it was a myriad of things.
Exactly.
We were going to record on Monday, but then we realised we didn't have any Melon Buffet entries. Then Tuesday was my fault. Wednesday was Tara's fault. So here we are. It's Thursday. Well, it wasn't anyone's fault, really, but let's get on with it.
It just, life happens.
Yep, shit happens. So here we are.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's just jump right into it because I've got nothing else to say.
Me neither. Nothing I want to talk about anyway. So in the public realm,
I'm sure we'll go off on our usual tangents at some point. It can't be helped. But
okay, let's get going.
The Lore of the Treacle Puppies.
Yeah. Interesting.
Episode 2.
Interesting title.
Yeah. Okay. Surprise task. The best drinking vessel.
Yeah. What would your best drinking vessel be? And it better be the right answer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've got my big ass cup here.
No, that's the wrong answer.
Like it,
I got you a custom made Greg Davis cup.
No, that is the best drinking vessel, and it's actually here on my desk.
Good.
Because I had tea in it earlier, so.
Better not be that weird tea.
No, it was actually just like English breakfast tea.
That's the best kind.
Standard.
Normal tea that normal people drink.
I drink a lot of tea.
Not perfumed water.
Fuck off.
Hot perfumed water. That's even worse. Right, crack on.
But yeah, I drink my tea out of that every day. Good. Anyway, what's your choice? What do you got?
I've got one of those little stubby pint glasses, Camden Hills ones. That's my favourite drinking vessel.
Okay.
I don't drink tea out of it. I drink cold drinks out of it. Mostly beer, but sometimes, fizzy juice or whatever. That's probably my favourite. It's nothing exciting.
No, it's just,
that's the best drinking vessel I own.
Whatever you like.
I mean, if I was doing it for a task, I'd probably choose something different.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of drinking vessels because I do a lot of drinking. But
exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike with the crafty approach and whittled a vessel.
A whittled love spoon. Yeah.
Yeah. But it had a likeness of the Taskmaster on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right.
I liked it.
He put some effort in.
Yeah.
I like when they, I mean, you can go grab something off a shelf.
Mm-hmm. It looked like it would injure
that.
you, though, if you tried to touch it. Still. I know he obviously injured himself when he was doing it, but I think it needed sanded down or something like that.
Yeah, definitely need a little bit of
I think
finish.
if you drank out of it, you might get some spelks in your throat. But it's nice, effort. Good effort.
Yeah, good effort.
Coincidentally, do you know what a love spoon is?
I've heard of them.
It's not a kinky
I don't really
sex
know,
object. It's a...
No, it's like, isn't it like a wedding thing or something?
In Wales, it's like a traditional...
Yeah.
It's a thing that people give each other when they love them or whatever, Valentine's or wedding or whatever. They're quite nice. They're really, no offense to Mike, but the properly made ones are really pretty.
I've seen them. They're like real intricate
Celtic
carvings
designs
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, carrying on. Sorry.
Cool. No, it's all right. So Sarah brought in her daughter's pottery project from school.
It looked like a child's plasticine mold of a ashtray.
But like every parent in like all of modern history has something like this. Every kid makes something like this in school, and we've all got some piece of shit sitting on our shelf.
Yeah.
And you don't know what, and your kid brings it home, and you're like, oh, it's so
shit.
Cool. And you don't know what the fuck it is, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. So you've got to like ask these questions like, tell me about how you design, like, how did you think this up? And why did you make it this way? Until they finally reveal that.
You should just be honest with them. Kids need to learn, man.
Well, you know me, I'm...
It'll do them better in the long run. I don't think I did pottery at school. Did you do that in America?
I didn't when I was younger. we didn't have the kind of budget. But now, like in elementary school, they do like basic stuff, like they're not firing stuff. But yeah, the high school over here's got a whole kiln and the whole.
I think I remember seeing it in the back of the art classroom in the bit that we weren't meant to go into. There was like a spinning table thing, whatever, the pottery wheel. But yeah, I did like metalwork and woodwork and things like that. But maybe that was more to do with the subjects I chose or whatever. I remember I made a little box for my dad, a little wooden box, like a treasure box. It was quite good actually. Like I could never make something like that now. I'm not that talented anymore. Plus, my teacher that taught me that lesson, I once saw him eat curry with a ruler. Metal ruler though. It was a metal
sounds
one.
about right.
It wasn't a plastic one. Anyway, he got sacked for hitting a kid. Carrying on.
Wow. Yeah. Jamali went very literal. Plastic cup. Absolute shit.
He's lucky he got any points, to be honest. I wouldn't have given him any points.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like his attitude, though. Fuck it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to play your game. I'm not going to buy into this bullshit.
He's had enough.
I'm just going to do what it says on the package. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Now, Lee, he kind of said this was like in the money can't buy sort of category. He swiped Simon Cowell's mug from his Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably money couldn't buy it, but I mean, who would pay for that anyway? I wouldn't. I would smash it up.
You might catch something off it. I don't know.
Might catch something. Yeah, he looks like he's got several things wrong with him, but I think he's paid to look like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah. Rubbish.
And then Charlotte, her granddad's glass bottom tankard, which I thought was
very
pretty cool.
I liked it a lot. You know, tankards are always cool. I used to have one with granddaughter written on it. My gran got for me a silver one, but it's been lost over the years, I think, which is a shame. It reminded me of that, but yeah, it was a pretty cool prize though. Like she said, it was a good prize. Good prize, and she gave us a little bit of a history lesson with it, whether that's true or not. But I didn't Google it, but
it adds up. I don't know.
Inclined to believe it.
Yeah, sounds good. So go ahead, points. Give us some points.
Points. So Jamali got 1 point for his shitty plastic cup. Lee got 2 points for his Simon Cowell reject. Sarah's daughter's pottery shit got 3 points. Mike's whittled love spoon got 4 points, and Charlotte's tankard got 5.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah and Lee, they just got lucky that there were like progressively shittier prizes below them.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
which often happens. I mean, it's not always about whether your prize is shitty. It's just, is it the shittiest?
Yeah, which one's the worst?
So, you don't have to be the best. Just don't be the worst.
Your prize isn't the best one. It's just the least worst. So you look at it. It annoyed him the least, so he gave it the most points.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
Oh, man. All right. So we go to the house for the first task. Yep. And this one was cool. Make that balloon hover untethered for 20 seconds. During the hovering, the top of the balloon must not be higher than your chin. The bottom of the balloon must not be lower than your waist. Also, you must sneer throughout the 20 seconds. Fastest wins. Good. Now, poor Lee, first of all. Poor befuddled old Lee. Didn't know where the balloon was.
He's such a professional that he just was eyes on the camera. He didn't look around him. And he didn't hear it almost hitting him in the head either, so yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte couldn't get it off the line.
Yeah, well, I could relate to that. I think I would have struggled as well, but purely for height reasons.
Yeah, you might have needed a step stool to get up there.
I'm going to start carrying one around with me, I think.
Maybe they have them like as a backpack, and you could just like whip it off, and there you go.
Stilts.
We should design something. I feel like there's untapped market
just
here.
Get some stilts and be done with it.
Oh man, I several of them seemed to be surprised once they did get the balloon off that it was helium.
We've clearly not done the research. Of course, it's going to be helium with Taskmaster. Nothing's easy, nothing's straightforward, and there's a little tinge of evil in all the tasks. Most of them. So yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte, she tried doing like the static electricity, over and over and over. And then she held it under the task, which...
It's tether,
not exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know, because I would have thought... I mean, obviously, I know now, but I thought tethered meant tied down.
Well, technically, yeah, I think that's like the literal definition of tethering, but I think holding it in place in any way means it's not hovering.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
So...
It's two words to get to grips with there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then she wound up letting it go anyway, so...
Well... I was screaming at the telly the whole time, take it inside, take it inside, take it inside. To everyone. It doesn't say you can't take it inside.
But see, then Lee had the right idea. Yeah. This is what I was thinking, was to try and weight the balloon just enough. Of course, he used the goggles first, which was... Way too heavy. I thought he would get there with the sponge... Because once he put the sponge on and saw it was too heavy, I was like, "Oh, go get scissors and start trimming the sponge until you've got just a..." But then he lost the balloon too. Trimming the sponge. There's a possible title. Writing that down. I've also got bewildered old man and balloon buffoonery as possibilities. But I'm kind of liking trimming the sponge.
I don't know if I wrote any down. Blood-soaked whittled spoon is the only thing I wrote down.
But yeah, so then he lost the balloon as well.
It's a shame. I think he would have probably gone down that route of making the sponge smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was even thinking like, tape. Like just start wrapping tape like around the balloon, weighting it. Like some heavy like duct tape, gaffer tape, something like that. That was my first instinct. But I really thought he was going to get there with the sponge until he lost the damn balloon.
Jamali, he tried the static thing again after borrowing one of the crew's woolly jumper. He also tried to make a hover tripod thing, where the balloon was effectively lodged rather than hovering. But he eventually got there with the jumper. But it was kind of tethered by the jumper as well. I know it was attached to it, but it was beneath it. I
mean, he did go in the shed, which was, I thought maybe he was going to try and contain it there, but then he didn't know how static worked, so that was not necessarily going to be successful. And then, lodging it under some sticks. But like you said, it was kind of held under the jumper. But I think there must have been some static in play too, because it's not like the jumper was completely wrapped around it.
He had created the static, so it would have stuck to it anyway, I think. So he got the benefit of the doubt.
Because just that little bit of jumper wasn't going to hold it in place. No. Sarah... She had some good ideas. I mean, she went to the shed to try and contain it. Trying to move air above and below was promising.
Yeah. She tried to waft it into place.
Waft.
She also got she called the shed an airless area, but I think she meant away from the breeze. Away from the movement of air. Not so much a sheltered area is what she should have said, but yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't an airlock. No. It was a windbreak. Helium against waft. That was the other thing I wrote down.
Helium against waft. Not as strong as a leaf blower.
But in the end, she used that glorious mane of hair that she has.
Her hair is amazing. I wanted to say to you last week, her hair is beautiful.
God.
I wish I could get my hair.
Oh my God. Seriously. So she used that static. Yeah. I mean, that was perfect.
She got there in the end. 21 minutes and 18 seconds later, but, she got there.
Exactly.
And then, Mike.
Oh, well. I mean, this is going to go down as a series highlight.
Definitely.
Clearly. Because this is already, like, one of the best things ever.
Oh, man. His face is so great.
Well, I mean, even at the beginning of the test, when he's like, be right back, and just the way he runs off.
He's so funny to look at, like, just watch everything. He's really naturally funny, which is,
Yeah.
But he's charming as well, so I think, he's earned a lot of new fans immediately. But we loved him anyway. We
Oh,
went
yeah.
over this
Everybody's
last
raving
week,
about Mike.
So he made a little weight out of a clothes peg.
Yeah.
Which was just about right. It was a little bit too heavy, maybe, or not quite. And then he ran around. He reminded me of Rick Mail and his movements. You know, you see Rick dancing around the stage in Bottom or whatever. And, with the balloon. Doing a
he
little
also
dance.
reminded me a bit the way he was dancing. Martin Short used to do this character, Ed Grimley. I know you probably not familiar. It's a little more Canadian.
Nope.
But
no idea. You reminded me of Rick Mail. That was it. Anyone that reminds me of Rick Mail is going to get 5 stars from me. Like, so, yeah.
There you go. But then it obviously got away from him.
He thought it was over, but no.
No. Oh no.
He did a hot fuzz over the fence. Cornetto trilogy style.
I think when Alex didn't know what the fuck was going on. He just like looked over the fence like, where's he going?
It was like, health and safety. What health and safety? See ya. And I love the fact that he said afterwards he didn't even know what was on the other side of the fence. He just leaped over it like a hero to rescue the balloon.
That's commitment to the game.
Yeah, he should win the series just for that. Just for that.
Act first, think later.
So then he recaptured the balloon and he trapped it in the phone box and kind of did his little dance again.
Yeah, although it was a little questionable as to whether it was still actually hovering because he was pressed up against the glass there.
Yeah, there was a few times where the balloon made contact with it.
I don't care.
Box, but I mean, it was so funny, like,
Exactly.
Yeah. And he took 8 minutes. Bang on, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Even after leaping across the fence and charging across the golf course, 8 minutes.
Yeah. So Sarah got 3 points for her 21 minutes, 18 seconds. Mm-hmm. Mike, 4 points for his 8 minutes. And Jamali got 5 points. And no points for Charlotte or Lee because they lost their balloons.
Sadly.
Good stuff. That was a good test.
It was brilliant.
And again, that's another one that's probably easy for people to do at a home tasking party, things like that, when we're allowed to do such things again.
So, task 2, team task.
Woohoo!
So we had Lee and Mike in the team of 2, and the team of 3, obviously, Jamali, Sarah, and Charlotte.
Now, I just love that Jamali and Sarah jumped right in the spirit of Taskmaster and assumed their first part of the task was to figure out how to get the task, and they were all in, shoelaces, belts.
They're completely in task completing zone by then. Like, obviously they'd been locked into this state of mind and immediately just went, right, okay, let's take our clothes off and make something to get that task.
Yeah.
Which is great. So, but then Charlotte showed up, obviously. So the task was to have an argument. They must take it in turns to angrily make your point with no more than 10 words. You must end your point on a different 4-letter word, and they must look at each other throughout, and the person speaking must be wagging their finger. So the argument ends when someone looks away, or there are 10 seconds of silence. Longest argument wins. So yeah.
So I wrote down all of the 4-letter words they said.
I didn't.
I did.
I wrote...
Well, because I was like, what am I going to write? I was like, this is, it was funny to watch.
Yeah.
And a little ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
So Lee and Mike had tash, hair, good look, use, that's a proper word in New Jersey.
It's a proper word in Scotland.
Twat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plum.
Did you say
Mike,
twat there?
Duck.
You mean twat?
Yes, I said twat.
Twat. Twat.
Uh-huh.
You lot say it like twat.
Tell.
We've had this discussion offline before. It's ridiculous.
We've had this discussion. You're not going to change my accent.
Twat.
Twat.
You're nearly there. On you go. Carry on.
Uh-huh. Bear. Also. Bear. Mean. Tosh. This is where it gets a bit homoerotic in the proceedings. We had cock and wang, and Alex had to remind them that it was meant to be an argument at that point.
Yep.
Then goes. Then Lee jumped in with huge But Mike was still trying to come up with his word. He hadn't finished, but because he stopped, Lee thought he was done, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, Lee got too excited and ended it. But yeah, they basically it ended because Mike was shilly-shallying, in his words.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started above the lips and ended below the belt, didn't it? Which is...
I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy and huge. That was another possible title.
Duck, duck, duck. All in my head is duck. Yeah. Mike refreshing his mind like a computer screen. I guess like a web page.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Or an app or something. Yeah, but it was great. It was a great argument. There was a little bit of confidence in there. There was a little bit of nastiness about Mike's fantastic moustache.
I think they both kept the attitude up, you know?
They had the body language of an argument.
A little bit of anger. Yeah.
I thought Mike was fairly, like everyone else that did the task was struggling from word to word like I am now. But he was kind of just flowing with his words, which was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically like watching us record with, the, kind of...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
to string
of
words
what
together to make
I'm saying.
Sense.
I sound like William Shatner right now. Okay. So then we have Jamali, Sarah, and Charlotte, which, I mean, Charlotte starts right in with like a compliment.
Yeah, she doesn't understand what.
So I mean, and she's just like so sweet. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah.
Don't worry.
So we had
break it down by the end of the series. I'm sure.
It's what they do. Yeah. So their words were well, fuck, luck, ring, don't, even, stop, can't, haha, wait, town, rest, that, bank, word, and will. And it ended because Charlotte lost track and went over 10 words. But even at the beginning, it seemed like they were trying to hit 10 words exactly, and I questioned if they understood the task properly, because it really seemed like they were going for 10 words. And I was like, you got to say as few words as possible and just get it out of your head.
I think I would have just said one 4-letter word each time it was my go, and it would have all been as many swear words as I could have thought of. Because that's what, immediately when you said 4-letter words, I start thinking fuck, shit, cock, wank, all that kind of thing, like just as many swear words as I could. But that's, a large part of my vocabulary, as you know.
Yeah, it would have been like, you fuck, suck my cock, like, it just, I mean...
Drop dead, that kind of thing.
Choke on a dick, whatever, it's...
You fucking fuck. Yeah. So yeah, in the end, Lee and Mike had the longest and best argument, I think, at 5 minutes 35 seconds, and the trio of dickheads had 3 minutes 8 seconds.
Yep.
Sorry, it's one of my favorite.
So they got
from
2 points. Yeah, so the 3 dickheads got 2 points, and Lee and Mike got 5. So
okay.
And back into that. Oh, this was a good one. Here we go. Make the house haunted. Most haunted house wins. You have 1 hour. Thoughts?
I thought Charlotte was going to be really good at this because of her most recent success in the sitcom Ghosts. And she was pretty good, actually, if you look at the others. Yeah. I really liked Sarah's one, because I liked seeing Alex on the little trike. And I liked the Shining.
Yeah, it was a good homage to The Shining.
It was brilliant. It was awesome. I think it could have done with, I think it was clearly a really sunny, bright day. It was just a shame. So it was a bit darker and more atmospheric in hers. It would have been even better, but it was brilliant as it is.
I think Charlotte would have scored higher if she hadn't done her little reveal at the end.
Yeah.
It kind of broke the mood. It was very cinematic, though. And she used the magnets, moved the stuff. There was a lot of illusion going on. I liked
she had a spooky filter on, I've written down. And she had the little blue book fell out of the fake bookcase and stuff. Yeah, it was good. Jamali, I mean,
the big string
guy. The amount of
illusion
illusion in that was outstanding.
When the ghost, the sheet rose up out of the box, I fucking lost it.
Oh,
I mean,
so
I
funny.
lost my shit. I was like, this is like if you tell like a 10-year-old to set up like a haunted house.
He looked like he had a great time though.
Oh yeah.
Lee's
I mean,
one.
hey.
Lee's was I liked
Yeah.
Lee's as well. It was quite good. Alex didn't like it,
Yeah.
obviously. Got a little bit of a fright, I think.
No, I thought it was cool
Yeah.
though because he was like acting all, this is my little thing, and oh look, we're doing a spooky thing, and stuck in character the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. She's not there.
Yeah. It's really good. Really, really good. And of course we got Mike again with his literal haunted house. He took that literally.
Yes.
It's a different interpretation than everyone else, but yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I put quite literally made the house haunted and hungry.
Hungry haunted house. Well, it wasn't that hungry. It spat him out, didn't it? But it just chewed him up.
Yeah. Just a
and we learned
fucker.
a new word. We learned hemisect. I looked that up on my work computer, I might add. Which literally means to cut into two equal parts, to bisect, especially along a medial longitudinal plane. So, if he was being correctly hemisect, and I'm just being a nerd here, because I looked at photos and stuff, you should have cut them right
Split
down
up the middle.
Like, I saw a cow once that had been hemisected in a museum display. Was that what you call them? Installation?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't nice. That would have been harder to do, though, I guess.
Yeah, probably for the graphics team, I think.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, it was really cool. Really.
And then they would have had to split a mannequin up the middle in a hole. It's not to pull back the curtain too much, folks. But
it was hemisected in a loose sense of the word. Yeah.
So points.
Jamali and Charlotte got 3 points. Lee and Mike got 4, and Sarah got 5 for her awesome Shining tribute.
All right, good stuff. And so on to the live task.
I did actually write down the questions from the live task for a change. I usually lose interest in writing stuff by the time we get to the live task. But,
yeah, because it's usually the second or possibly third time we've watched the episode, and the notes taking is probably the whole part of this process that we hate.
Yeah, I do hate it.
Like, we love doing the podcast, we love watching the show as many times as possible, but the note taking is what makes it feel like
but if we don't take the notes, then we forget what happened. So yeah.
Well, yeah, neither of us has a memory good enough to just discuss it because
we're old.
We're fucking brain fried.
So the live task was correctly guess your standing in the group. The Taskmaster will read out a category, and you've got to hold up the number to which you think reflects your standing in that category. So 1 being the highest in the category and 5 being the lowest. So the categories were most northerly birthplace. I didn't write down where Lee was born, but I thought he was a lot more north than that.
Yeah, I didn't write down like their specific answers for all of them, but I wrote down like the order and the order they thought they were in and the order they were actually in.
You've done more than me then. I've written down the things that they had to do.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I was note taking like hell that day.
I know Lee's got most contacts in his phone, 3,000 and something. That's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Most normally
I checked. Do you know how many contacts you have in your phone?
How many have I got on my phone? Let me see.
Yeah.
How do you know? Like, well, obviously, like, does it give you a number? I don't know. Do I have to? Am I gonna have?
I had to fucking count. I don't know.
I'm counting them. How many have you got?
I've got 386.
I've got 12 under A. And then I don't know. It's gonna take me a while to count these. I don't think I've got that. I don't think. 185. There you go. 185 in this phone. But I've got 2 phones, so I'd have to look at the other one as well.
I don't ever delete anyone from my contacts because I don't ever want to get caught by... I mean, I don't answer my phone anyway, so I don't know why the hell I think this, but I don't want to get caught by surprise with an unknown number, and I like to block people when they're out of my life, so I keep them in my contacts and I block them.
I've only got like 180.
So I don't ever delete anyone from my contacts. But yeah, so... pints of milk drunk per month. That was quite an interesting one.
I hardly drink.
What the fuck?
Drink any, but he counted like cups of tea and stuff, so I do drink tea quite a bit.
But still, 37 pints of milk?
In a month. Well, my husband drinks quite a lot of milk compared to me. Like, he'll have a glass of milk of a night time before he goes to bed, so he's probably, not far behind Mike if he's not around the same.
Yeah, I drink, in my tea or my coffee or like a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
That's about it. Once in a very rare while, I will crave like a glass of chocolate milk.
Yeah.
But that's
he does
very
that, so
rare.
He drinks a lot of milkshakes and things like that. So, like, I very rarely have milk. Like, I have, even when I have it in my tea, it's like a splash and that's it. I like proper strong builders.
None of us drink milk straight. Marin used to drink a lot of it, but she was a kid, But none of us drink milk straight. Like, I get to the point now where I buy like a quart of milk and I wind up throwing half of it away because it goes bad before we can use it.
This is so exciting for the listeners.
Yeah. I know.
Do you have skimmed milk, semi-skimmed, full fat? What?
I usually buy 2% as like our everyday milk.
So that's like semi-skimmed or something.
Yeah, because we have skim, 1%,
hang on.
2%.
Everyday milk. So do you have special day milk?
Well, like, because I buy whole milk when I'm like baking or making ice cream or things like that. But like Marin doesn't like whole milk. She's like, it's too
milky.
Too much.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah. I don't.
And skim is like water.
I don't even like semi-skimmed anymore. I just like skimmed. Yeah, you wouldn't like it.
When I'm trying to do like the Weight Watchers and all that bullshit, of course I get this fucking skim.
I just don't like it. It's too milky. Like I can tell if I've got semi-skimmed or skimmed in my tea. Like if someone else has made it, I can tell.
This is going to be such a fucking great podcast.
It's too milky. It's too much. Semi-skimmed in tea is the best. If you like your tea strongly.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, this is exciting, isn't it?
I know.
To make some milk.
Most frequent washing of towels per month. There's another.
That's a tough one. That's tough though. I was thinking about it this morning when I had a shower and I put my towels in the wash, and I was like, how do you quantify that? Because if you use different towels every time you have a shower, then does that mean?
Well, see, I'm also an awful housekeeper in that I don't separate my fucking laundry. I just dump everything in.
Right, so is it like, do people actually just do a wash that's just towels? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, there are people who like separate everything. They do their lights and their darks and their towels and their sheets and their bedding, everything like all
separately. Yeah,
I don't even do that.
Yeah,
I wash everything together.
Do you have any white
I
stuff?
Can't be fucking
you can't
bothered.
have anything that's properly white if you wash everything together, because it'll be kind of grey.
I do.
Or kind of blue or kind of pink.
No, you got to use these the color stabilizer. It's like these little sheets you just throw in the washing machine. It's wonderful. Yeah, Marin learned to do her laundry for me, so no, there's no separating of laundry in this house.
Okay, most eggs in one hand.
We can't be fucked.
Let's move on. Most eggs in one hand.
I was tempted to try this, but then I just got lazy.
I reckon 5 tops. I've got tiny hands, and yeah, I reckon I could hold 4.
Yeah, I think I could probably
and then 1 on the top. Is it just 1 hand, or is it 2 hands?
1 hand. I reckon I could hold a good.
How many?
8 or 10. I don't know.
Really?
I think I could do 8 or 10.
Right, well, you have to try it. Just use cream eggs or something so they don't smash all over the floor. Same size, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what size are the eggs? Because you can get medium eggs, large eggs, what? Duck eggs? Just normal chicken eggs.
For me, large is my standard,
Wow, this is so good.
Well, again, I'm a baker, so I've got to have a standard size of egg.
Your eggs as well.
Recipes.
You've got kind of white shells over there, right? We've got like beige coloured normal eggs.
Usually, yeah.
Like, what is that all about?
Like you can get brown. It's just the type of chickens that's what they lay.
Okay. So what do your chickens look like?
So, I've not seen them.
Like a normal chicken?
Go down to the factory farm. They're just like, white chickens.
White chickens.
But yeah, it has to do with...
Our chickens are brown, generally.
Yeah, you can get brown eggs and other color, like if you go to like a little farm stand or something like that. But like the commercial ones you get in the supermarket are usually white.
My dad has chickens,
and they usually do have some brown eggs in the supermarket.
And I didn't really realize how many different types of chicken there are until my dad started rescuing chickens. Yeah. So he's got like a few that are like battery hens, like normal brown chickens that you would expect to see, and then he's got some really fluffy, pretty, extravagant looking fancy chickens like. All different colours and stuff. You can get ones that have got funky hair and stuff that are so amazing. Yeah, so many different types of chicken. Anyway, points.
This is going to be the worst fucking episode. Thank you, and we're sorry. Points. So Charlotte and Jamali got 2 points each. Yep. Mike and Sarah 4, and Lee got 5. Because, I mean, like I said, I wrote a bunch of shit down, but nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, Lee can hold like 17 eggs in one hand or something. That's amazing.
That was insane. Like, I mean,
But you imagine, right? Lee, how tall is he? How big is he? He's not, I mean, he's, no offense, but he's kind of normal average height, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how many eggs Greg could hold.
He's 6 feet, he's 6 feet tall.
Lee is?
Yeah.
So Greg's got 8 inches on him, so what would that convert to? Like an extra 3 eggs? 4?
I got to imagine.
He's got to be able to hold 20, right? Someone write to him and find out.
I think so.
Anyway. So the
episode points. This is a fucking mess. I don't know if morning recording is our best fucking thing. Well, it's morning for me anyway, but I know.
I'm off work today, so I've kind of just been pottering.
But we normally do late afternoon for me and evening for you, like later night for you. This is all right. So Charlotte finished the episode with 12 points, Jamali with 13, Lee with 16, Sarah with 17, and Mike winning the episode with 21. That Mike is a force to be reckoned with.
Early favourite. Well, you know, we discussed last week that we would like to win and stuff anyway. So that leaves the series scores exactly the same order as the episode scores. So Charlotte's in last place with 17, Jamali 20, Lee 33, Sarah 35, and Mike is out in front on 38.
All right. So we had a couple little news bits that you actually shared with me.
Which ones did I tell you? I've written down.
Bob Mortimer is publishing his autobiography.
I didn't write that one down. So that's 4. Yep, he is. I've already ordered my signed copy.
Oh, check you out. Yeah, it's going to be released September.
It's
called End Away.
17, I think. 16, 17. Yeah. It's going to be one of the best books I've ever written, I'd reckon. It's got a few lies in it.
I would imagine.
And mostly truths. Mostly truths and a few lies, but if you can distinguish which ones are which, then well done. Anyone that's seen
the publishers described it.
Sorry?
The publishers described it as warm, profound, and irrepressibly funny. Yeah. Mortimer said with over 60 years of tomfoolery and shenanigans under my belt, I thought it was time to write them all down. Yeah.
Can't wait to read it. It's going to be so good.
So
there's going to be an audiobook as well, which would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
yeah. What's the other stuff I sent you then? I can't remember.
The other one was that somebody, Wild Haggis Gaming. Oh, yeah. There's a Game Boy emulator for a Taskmaster game.
Did you look at it?
And I did look at it. I didn't play it. I tried downloading the Android version and I couldn't get it to work, but there's the desktop version and I have it up. And the trailer looks pretty cool.
I haven't tried it yet because
I will
work on iPhone. I don't think so, but I will try it.
But you can do it on Mac.
All right.
So
okay, I'll maybe try it on there. Cool.
Evidently, they said Apple removed all emulators from the App Store, so you have to play in browser. But yeah, so I'll post the link to that if anybody wants to try it out. It's a cool little thing.
Apple. Okay, is that it? I've got another couple here.
Yep. What do you got?
Well, if this goes out in time, Mike is a guest on the Horn Section's very first live broadcast. It's going to be on Friday night. You can get tickets for it. And Mike Wozniak's one of the guests. He's the main guest, I think. So he's going to be on there. And I found recently Mike's got his own podcast that he does. I think he does a couple, but he's got one that he does called the St. Elswick's Neighbourhood Society, I think. And Greg was recently on there. Now, I don't think it's not a sort of interview type podcast. I haven't listened to it yet. I've put it in my queue.
No, I think
it's a bit like
I have listened to a couple.
Yeah.
It's a comedy podcast, basically. It's supposed to be the church. Yeah. They lost funding for their newsletter, so now they record it as a podcast, and it's really fucking funny.
Greg was on it recently. Have you listened to that one?
I have not, because I started listening from the
Okay.
beginning.
So he's on one of the recent ones. I think not the one that just came out, the one before that. So yeah, check that out. That's it.
All right,
That's it.
as always, I'll have links to these things in the show notes if you're interested. So that puts us into Melon Buffet Master. So, yep, we're back. We went over the new rules last week. Don't mind me, I'm just pulling up my notes for that. And so we've got a couple of our usual suspects sliding in with their entries. Sarah, so it was best thing you can carry, but only just was the prize task for the last episode. And Sarah sent in her dog Sunshine. She said she might only be 6 kilograms, but she's 14 years old and can only see out of one eye, so she doesn't like being carried a lot. And she sent a picture, and of course, Sunshine's a precious little angel, and we both love dogs, so well played, Sarah.
Yeah, well played, Sarah. Very well played. Old, one-eyed, cute little dog. Of course, you're going to get 5 points.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like a deaf and blind dog with a giant tumor. Oh my God, last night I had to, because we were waiting for a medical visit for my husband. So I had to keep the dog out of the room, and he was just whining and barking and scratching. And then I opened the door to let him in, and he didn't notice he was facing the other way. Didn't even notice I opened the door and just sat there whining.
Aww.
I had to go tap him on the back, be like, Gim, come on in, buddy. And he was like, oh, okay.
So did they turn up eventually then?
No, they did not.
Thank
So,
goodness.
yeah, we're working on that. Anyway.
So I gave Sarah 5 points. I don't know if we're doing points now, but 5 points.
Yeah, what the hell? I also gave her 5 points because
Strong start.
Yeah,
We love dogs.
you just you went right in with the doggy.
Yeah.
So, and then Lucas sent us in by Instagram DM. I'm actually going to read his.
Yeah, read it out. You need to.
He gave a bit of an explanation. The best thing you can carry, but only just. Okay, so I'm going to say Greg's ego. Stay with me. So the Taskmaster has to have a big ego or the show doesn't work. Such as Taskmaster USA was his example,
Yep,
and he is correct.
I've not watched it, but but you are correct.
Well, yes, exactly. So you don't get to comment.
I don't need to. I've read about it. It's rubbish. Greg wasn't in it.
You still need to watch it. All right. And Greg's ego in the show is so big that a weakling like me wouldn't be able to carry the weight of it. So I would bring in a framed collage of Alex, which would naturally slightly deflate his ego, meaning I would only just be able to carry it. Therefore, fulfilling the brief of only just being able to carry it and being a lovely prize as well as giving Alex the attention he deserves. And he actually included a little collage of Alex with a heart and a fancy gold frame. And I had feelings about this one. I don't know. I like when they think outside the box. But I don't think that you could deflate the Taskmaster's ego.
Yeah, I don't think. I think what would happen is if that situation occurred,
it would anger him.
Angry. But I like when he's angry. So I like that he's thought about it, and I like that he's quite rightly frightened that we might be offended by him insulting the Taskmaster in a kind of roundabout way. So, yeah.
All right. So what'd you give him for points?
4. I've written 4. I was thinking there I was going to change it because I forgot that you put the little picture of Alex. But I've written 4, so I'll stick to it. I've given him 4.
All right. I gave him 3.
Okay.
So that's 7 points.
Nice one, Lucas.
That's still a good start.
Appreciate your entries.
And then, and then over on Twitter, we've got Duncan. Gave us, he said he had slightly more planned for this week, but he's been busy, so here's a prize task for now, and he'll catch up. The best thing I can just about carry is this family of polar bears. Here I am carrying all 6 with some difficulty, and he's this adorable collection of polar bear stuffies. And and yeah, you can see that he's only just carrying them.
Tick. 3 points.
So And I went 4 because I'm a sucker for cute fuzzy things. So he also gets 7 points.
Nice.
And then Fiona,
reigning 2-time champion.
Reigning 2-time champion, and you will get your prize.
I was going to ask if you not sent that yet.
No, I have it all packaged up. I've not been to the post office in a long. I still have Marin's sister's Christmas present sitting on my dining room
I've
table.
Still got Christmas presents
because I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to face the post office, so it's happening soon because the kid's birthday is this month. So I'm going to get sent a Christmas and birthday package as well as Fiona's prize.
Apologies,
we're going to make one big trip to the
post
office.
On Tara's inadequate behalf.
Don't worry, I'm adding a few little bits in there to make up for it, so don't worry about it.
Nice.
So she put in, she has a tent that sleeps up to 10 people and needs almost that many to carry it comfortably, or she gave us a graphic where you could just ask The Rock, and he's carrying like a giant duffel. So yeah, I mean, I have a very large tent like that, and it, even when it is packed up all compactly, it is a pain in the ass to carry. So I gave her 4 points.
Okay. 3 from me, just because it's just a tent, mostly for the picture of The Rock. So.
So yeah, so that leaves us Sarah leading our early lead with 10 points, and then 7 points each for Lucas, Duncan, and Fiona.
Interesting start.
So,
okay, so your prize task, obviously, for next time is whatever it was. Best drinking vessel. Yeah. Knock yourself out. Let us see what you've got, or what you can think of. Sorry, I'm making noises while I'm talking. Sorry. She's gonna have to edit that whole thing up.
That's all right. I think that is probably us. I was thinking about all sorts of sound clips and everything that I could do this week because, like last week we had Mike's song, but I got lazy and I was like, I don't know, this is too much to process.
Why didn't you just chuck in one of your ones that you played to me last week? You've got a couple of Greg saying stuff, right?
Yeah. Let me see what I've got.
Go for it. Do one now.
I
Perfect.
don't know if the volume was up on.
Yeah, end on that.
And then, so that's us out. And,
it was hardly perfect, though. We talked about milk and eggs for about half an hour.
Oh, it's a fucking disaster, like always. But somehow, y'all keep listening,
thank you very much.
We thank you for that. Our numbers are a little bit insane, and sometimes I look at them and I'm like, what are you people listening to us for? Why? I mean, we're absolutely grateful that you are, but it's... Oh, there is one other thing that I should mention, and this shows how shitty we are at self-promotion, because we did this I did this a little while ago, and we were like, oh, we're gonna do this when we come back for the new series, and then I totally forgot is that we now have a very small selection of merch that you can order.
If you're so inclined, yeah.
If you're so inclined, no obligation. It's just 2 variations on the single design of our logo, and I will post the link down below. But yeah, we're just terrible.
Yeah,
at
but what is it though? What's
so
the logo on?
There you go.
Tell is it like t-shirts and stuff?
Yeah, there's like t-shirts, sweatshirts. There's like a whole bunch of different designs of t-shirts and sweatshirts. If you want it on other things, let us know. Or if you have any other ideas for stuff we can put on that relate to our podcast, any quotes that you think might work, or, any of the episode art that you think is cool that would look good on a shirt, we could do that. Right now, it's just our main logo with, like I said, 2 different variations, but, we thought it would be a little bit of fun, and I've been wearing mine around town, and nobody knows what the fuck it is because
yeah, well, no, it's very niche. Very niche. Cult almost.
Very
cultish. Very small cult.
And on that note, we will say goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.